Assalamualaikum guys. Today we are here with one more session for the past papers for O levels, and today we are going to do with 221013 October November 2023. Time allowed is 1 hour 45 minutes. Not repeating the instructions and information once again, as you are already aware of them. Now, for question number one, it says a mobile phone has built-in input and output devices. Give two examples of an input device that would be built into the mobile phones. So over here, it could be the touch screen, it could be the camera, it could be the microphone, it could be the sensors, it could be the keypad, biometric devices, any such thing like that. So you may write with the easy parts. That is a microphone, and you can write it down with the camera, a microphone and a camera. The other one they are saying, give one example of an output device that would be built into a mobile phone telephone. Okay, now one of the output device. So output device could be the screen again, it could be the speakers, it could be the LED lights, the actuators or motors, any such thing like that. So we can go with the easiest one, that is a speaker. Now they're saying this data storage in the mobile telephone can be measured using different units of the measurement. State how many bits are equal to 1 byte. So it is 8. 8 bits are equal to 1 byte. State how many kilobytes are equal to are e- sorry state how many kilobytes equal a megabyte. So for kilobyte it's 1024. 1024 kilobytes will make up a 1 megabyte. The mobile telephone has an operating system. Describe the purpose of the operating system. Okay, now coming towards the operating system, what is the operating system? So it is the basic, you may say, software that is working as the bridge between the system software and in hardware. Okay, um, or you may say between the device and in hardware. It is performing all sort of the actions. It may include with managing the hardware. It may include with the interrupt handling parts. It may include with the uh, interface part. It's providing the interface as well. So these are few of the tasks that is performing, or that is the purpose of an operating system. So we can note it down in this particular manner. Operating system is working as a bridge between a system and a user by applying, or by providing, not by applying, sorry, by providing an interface, by providing an interface. It manages the internal it manages the internal memory, as well as you may write it down after the internal memory, as well as any sort of the any sort of interrupt. So now this could be for 3 marks because you have mentioned three of the purposes over here. Okay, now they are saying human uses the denary number system and computer uses a binary number system. Now it is saying that you need to explain what is meant by the binary number system. Okay, now you need to define for the binary number system. So binary number system is something that it is having a base 2. So first of all, before that, you can write it down. It is, or the computer that uses the okay. So they have mentioned that binary number system is utilized by the computer. So you do not need to mention this point. You can directly write it down. It is using base 2 to be recognized and it only contains two digits, 1 and 0. Okay, now just after that, they are coming over here. Convert the tiny number 14, 59, and 234 into the binary. Okay, they haven't mentioned that you need to go with the 8 bits or 12 bits, but by default, we do represent every number by on 8 bits. So for 8 bits coming towards 14, how are we going to do it for the 14? So first of all, what we can do, we can note it down in this particular manner for the working space. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and finally 1 to 8. So it makes up 8 bits in all: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now for the 14, so for 14, what are the bits that we need to get on? We need to get on by 8, then 4, and then 2, and remaining of them will be 14. So we can represent it over here as 14. Then for 59, so for 59, what are the bits that we need to get on? So we need to get on by 32 and we need to get on by 16. This will make up a 48. 48 and we need to make up 9. Then just after 48, we can go ahead with 8 as well. Now 48 plus 8 will make up a 56. Now 3 more. So 2 will be on and 1 will be on. Do remember you are not allowed to use the calculator. So that will be making up a 59. And then finally we do have a 234. So for 234, we will be adding up 128. We'll be adding up 64. And we will be adding the 32. So just after that, 128, 64, and 32. This will make up 12. 12 and 2, 14, 4 and 1 carry, 3 and 3, 6 and 6, 12, 2 and 1 carry once again. So 224 right now. We need to go ahead with 234. So we should get on by 8, then 2, and then a 0. So this will make up 234 in all. Okay, now we just need to put these things back over here at their places. Now we do have 4 times 0 for 14, 4 times 0, triple one, and a 0. Then we do have double 0, triple one, 0, double one. Then we do have for the 234, it was triple one, 0, triple one, 0, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. So this is how we want to do this one question. Okay, now just please give me a second, please. Okay. Now coming to the next question, it says convert the denary numbers 9, 26, and 65 to hexadecimal. Okay, now these are the denary numbers. You need to convert them into the hexadecimal. So for converting the denary number into the hexadecimal, we do take the LCM by 16. Okay, now for 9. So obviously for 9, if you're going to take the LCM by 16, so it would be in a similar manner 9 and the remainder will be 9. Okay, so you could leave this part and you can directly add the answer over here. Now for 26, we can write it down 16, 26. So 16 on the 16, remainder will be 10 over here. So the answer should be 1A because we cannot write 10 over here. So we will be writing the answer 1A because the answer you do write from left to right first of all and then from bottom to top. So there is nothing from bottom to top. There is only left to right now. That is the reason that we are writing over here 1A. Uh, okay, now just after that, it's 65. So for 65, how are we going to do this one? Now 16 1 the 16, 16 2 the 32, 16 3 the 48, and 16 4 the 64. So 16 4 the 64. So 4 will be over here and remainder will be 1. So again from left to right and then bottom to top. So the answer will be 41 right over here. So this is how we are gonna complete this part. Now they are saying convert the positive binary number 123 to 8-bit binary using 2's complement. Show all your working. Okay, now it's a positive 2's complement. Oh, sorry, positive 123. So for the positive, you what you need to do, you actually need to convert this number into the binary format. That's all. If it would be in the negative one, then you need to subtract it from the highest significant bit. But right now it is the positive 123, so you do not need to do anything. You just need to convert 123 simply into the binary format. So how are you gonna do that? Again, you can do it in that particular manner. That would be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and then finally 128. So for making up a 123, what are the bits that you need to get on? 64 plus 32 will make up a 96. 96 and then 16 will make up 96 and 16, 106, 106 and 112. 112 plus 8 will give you 120, then 2 and 1, 123, and then the remaining bits will be 0. So this could be your final answer. This is how you could show the positive 123 into the binary format. If it would be a negative 123, it's not, I'm just explaining you guys, okay? If it would be a minus 123, so what you need to do, you actually need to subtract 123 from 128. If you're gonna do this, so the answer is 5 over here, and now you need to do minus 5. So how you are going to do this one? Do remember this is not the part of the question, okay? Minus 5. So how are you going to do it on the 8 bits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So again, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and this will be the sign bit. So sign bit will be 1 because it's a negative, and remaining it will be 5. And the remaining bits will be on. So if it would be minus 123, then you need to do it in this manner. Otherwise, we are done with over here if it's a positive 123. Okay. So I'm just deleting this part because it might get you confused afterwards. Okay. Okay. Now they are asking add the binary values 00, 11, 00, 11, and 0 4 times 1 triple 0 using binary addition. Give your answer in binary, show all your working. Okay, you need to add them all. So how are you going to add them? First of all, it's 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. Then it's 0 triple 1. Sorry, 4 times 1, my bad. And then 3 times 0. Now we need to add them both. So adding the digits both, how are we, what is the answer that we are going to get? 1 plus 0 will give you a 1, then again a 1, then a 0, then again a 1. Now 1 plus 1 will give you a 2, but over here we are in the binary format. So the binary equivalent of 2 is 1 0. So 0 will be at the bottom and 1 will be at the top. Now adding up 3 ones will give you a 3, but again this 3 should be in the binary. So the binary representation of 3 is 1 1. So 1 will be at the bottom and 1 will be at the top. Again, we do have two ones. So 1 plus 0 plus 1 will give you a 2. But the binary format of 2 is 1 0. So 0 at the bottom, 1 at the top, and finally 1 will be over here. So the final answer that you guys are getting is 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1. So this is the final answer that we are getting over here. Now for question number 3, they are saying a computer has a central processing unit CPU. Circle 3 components that are built into the CPU. Okay, now they are saying what are the 3 components that are built into the CPU? You need to circle them. So accumulator, yes, they are. So just circle them. Control unit, yes, it is again. Graphic card, no, it is not built in. You need to have it on later on. Hard drive, no, it's not built in. Motherboard, it's not built in. Program counter, yeah, registers are built in onto the CPU. RAM, no. ROM, no. Okay. So these are the 3 things that are built in onto the CPU. Now they are saying for the next part, the CPU has a cache. Explain the purpose of the cache. Okay. Now cache is something, it's a memory and it's a primary memory. So it's just like the registers, that it is having the temporary data, because as you're going to shut down the power, any data that is within there will be lost. Okay. But it is faster to access the data from here rather than a RAM, because uh, those who are my students, they should remember with the notes that when we were doing with the memory pyramid, so cache is just nearest to the microprocessor. That means the access time or the data access time over here will be much less as compared to any other device. So we can write it down. It is a volatile memory that holds data frequently in use. Data access is faster as compared to RAM, because it is more nearer to the microprocessor than RAM. Okay, that's the reason. Coming to the next question. What does the next question say? It says the CPU has a component that regulates the number of the fetch, decode, execute cycles the CPU can perform in a second. That means regulate means that it can even increase or it can decrease the number of the fetch, decode, execute cycles. So state the name of that component. So this is the clock that can actually do this thing. Clock is the thing that can regulate the speed of the processing of a system. Now they are saying a CPU is a component that carries out all calculations and logical operations. State the name of this component. Okay, now arithmetic and logical operations. So what is that component? That is basically the arithmetic and logical unit. Sorry, arithmetic logic unit. You can also write it down ALU, but it's better to write it down completely. Okay. I employ question number 4. An employee uses a web browser on their computer. Describe the main purpose of the web browser. It's for the 2 marks. Okay, now the main purpose of the web browser. So do remember the main purpose of the web browser is to display the web pages asked or demanded by the user, and to render it by rendering it um, in the HTML. By rendering the HTML, not in the HTML, sorry, by rendering, display the web pages demanded by the user by rendering HTML. By rendering HTML, what does that mean? Actually, this means that they will be converting the HTML language into the high level language, or you may say they will be converting the HTML language into the format that you actually want, or in which the developer has asked it to display. So this is what is the main purpose of your system. Okay. Sorry, the web browser. We are going to write it down. Display web pages demanded by user by rendering HTML. Okay, now coming to the next question. What does that says? An employee wants his payment details to be automatically filled in when he buys products using the internet. Identify the function of a web browser that could be used for this purpose. Okay, now automatic refill. So obviously this could be one thing, that is cookies, or you may say identify the function of a web browser. So it could be cookies, or you can write it down storing cookies as well, because they have asked the function. So you can just name it in the format storing cookies. Part C says The employee wants to be able to quickly access websites that he regularly uses. Identify the function of a web browser that could be used for this purpose. Okay, it's saying that there's an employee who wants to access the websites that he is going to do it on the regular basis. Now, what function of the web browser can do that part? So now you can make the bookmarks or you can make the favorites, any one of them. Okay, so you can write it down storing bookmarks, or you could write it down storing favorites. So I'm just putting a slash and writing the other one as well. So there could be two answers. Okay, now the other one, part D. The web browser uses the secure socket layer SSL protocol to transmit personal data securely over the internet. As you know that there are two security protocols, SSL and TLS. So web browser is actually using the SSL protocol to transmit the data securely from one end to another end. Now they are saying state how the SSL protocol secures the data for transmission. So what it is actually doing, what is the main function of a SSL? So it is going to encrypt the data. It encrypts the data. It encrypts the data before transmission. So once it is going to encrypt that particular data, that means now your data is secure. Okay, now coming to question number 5. What does the question number 5 says? Errors can occur when data is transmitted. Give one reason an error may occur when data is transmitted. So they are saying any of the reason that your data is there is an error when you're going to transmit the data. So there could be two things. Number one, it could be an interception, and the other one, it could be an inference. Interception and inference is the same thing. And the other thing could be the crosstalk. Crosstalk means that once you're going to transmit the data from one end to another end, at the same time, that path could be utilized by any other data. So there could be a cross connection, and once there is a cross connection, there might be the error while you're going to transmit the data. So we can write it down with the crosstalk. Okay, now part B. What does the part B says? Some error detection methods use calculated value to check for errors. Take one box to show which error detection method does not use a calculated value to check for the errors. Okay, now is it a check digit? Is it a checksum? Is it a echo check or is it a parity check? So check digit, we do calculate that thing. For checksum, we also do calculate thing. For echo, we do not, but yeah, for the parity, we also calculate the number of the ones. So the answer over here will be echo check. Coming to part C, it says an automatic repeat request ARQ can be used to make sure that the data is received free of error. It can use a positive or a negative acknowledgement method to do this. Explain how an ARQ operates using a positive acknowledgement method. Okay, now as we know that how an ARQ works, once we are going to transmit the data from one end to another end, that means from the sender's end to the receiver's end. So receiver will be sending an acknowledgement. Oh, sorry, receiver will be sending an acknowledgement, or you may say receiver will be asking for the next set of the data by its own. And if within that particular time interval that is set by the sender, if in that particular time interval receiver is asking for the next set of the data, that means it's a positive acknowledgement to the sender that previous data has been successfully reached to the receiver. Otherwise, if not, that means it's a timed out. That means the data has not been received by the receiver. So we are going to write it down over here. Timer is set once sender is sending a set of data to receiver. if receiver asks for the next set of the data within set time interval, it is a positive acknowledgement. It is a positive acknowledgement to sender that previous data has been received successfully. But if it is a timed out, it is a timed out that shows data was not received by receiver. So this is how an ARQ works. So till here we are done with question number 5, and in the second phase of this past paper, we'll be starting from question number 6. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next phase of this class.